Hello, hello. On today's show, we're going to talk about the new Game of Thrones show. We're going to do cover combat, round 3 reveals, round 4 matchups, and of course, all our regular shows. Welcome to your favorite live streaming whatnotting podcast, Comics and Collectibles in the Crawl Space by Xcellar Comics. As usual, I am your 4th or 5th favorite podcaster, Kevin. I have 2 amazing gentlemen with me here today. You want to say, hey, Patrick?
Hey, everybody.
And then, of course, we can never get enough. We were just talking about this in the pregame. We can never get enough of Mike.
Hey, everyone. Yeah.
We did literally talk about that in the pregame. We can't get enough of Mike.
Right.
Nope.
Comment in the comment section. Let us know if you feel otherwise. But I'm thinking everybody's just gonna say no. We cannot get enough Mike.
All right.
All right. First correction. First correction. Segments. I meant to say segments in the teaser, not your favorite shows.
I can tell you threw yourself for a loop.
Well, this is what happened in my brain. As soon as it got to like 2, I realized, oh crap, we didn't talk about Patrick's teaser.
Mm-hmm.
So then I'm like, oh crap, what's the 3 things I'm gonna say? And then of course it started, and I had to go with it.
I'll give it to you right now. Get ready for Christmas, everyone.
Nice.
Oh,
All right, sweet.
well, my daughter's been listening to Christmas music already for a month.
You're kidding, really?
Yeah,
That's awesome. I'm a big Christmas music lover myself, so.
I am too. I just don't want to hear it yet.
Not that much. Got it.
But then at Christmas, that's all I want to hear. Yeah.
Right. Typically I try to hold off until the day after Thanksgiving, but I usually don't last that long. It usually goes a little bit beforehand. But a month ago, wow, that is a record.
Yep.
At least from what I've personally experienced. All right. So Mike, you want to start with the profits setup, correct?
Yes. I just, because we do the same thing every week.
Right.
Whenever it's not my turn, I go full screen because I'm going blind, and I just went full screen.
And then it's your turn, right? Yeah, exactly.
Right. Gotta get back over.
We surprised you.
Yeah. So, all right. We are now ready for the profits. Here are 10 open order comic books coming out this upcoming Wednesday, August 31st. The Xcellar Group and our families have selected our top 3 favorites. In order for you to win the Profits contest, you must post a comment during this live stream of the 3 covers that you think we selected as our favorites. The cutoff time for your submission will be announced at the beginning of the Pick 3 segment. So head on over to the Facebook page, have a closer look at the covers, hop back over to the live stream, and post your comment. If you pick the 3, you will receive your choice of one of these 10 comics, and we'll ship it to you free of charge. We'll cover the postage. I've already posted it. All right, so we've got X-Men number 14, Moon Knight, Black, White, and Blood number 4, Ant-Man number 2, Wonder Girl Annual 2022, Harley Quinn Annual 2022, The Amazing Fantasy 1000, Fortnite X Marvel number 4, X-Force 31, Obi-Wan number 4, and Mech Strike number 3. And that's that. I have a funny thing about Amazing Fantasy, you know, Tyler was saying, I think it was on the Whatnot show, he's talking about first appearances, Wolverine, Venom,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
So he said that, you know, Spider-Man's first appearance is probably in Amazing Fantasy 14.
Right.
You know, it was a funny joke. We all know it isn't. So I went back to look at what the actual cover was.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, it was actually, there's some weird things about it. So it was called Amazing Adult Fantasy up until issue 14. After that, it was Amazing Fantasy.
Okay.
Amazing Fantasy 15 was the last issue. And I think it was only called Amazing Adult Fantasy from like issue 9 to 14. Before that, I didn't, that's where I stopped looking. I don't know what it was called before that. So
yeah, that was totally great. You know, of course, you know, we were hanging out all day. So yeah, he was venting on me with his newfound frustration that you know, Venom is on $299 or in $299, and then we talked about 180 and all that. So then he actually was totally waiting for you to come to the Whatnot show so he could deliver that joke. So.
Well, here now they're at 1,000. So I don't know how they got there.
All right, so I got a lot of stuff. You know, I'll do the regular stuff here real quick. So we've got the S.C.R.F.L.S goal update. I don't actually have the video booted for that, but we won't worry about that now. This is kind of funny. We actually went to 37. We got our weekly goal of one uptick in subs on YouTube. We got to 37. It may have happened during the show last week, but it was definitely there right after the show when I checked it. And then for some unknown reason, like I checked it again on Thursday to see if it went up again and went back down to 36. And I'm like, what the heck? Who left us? Right. Maybe they didn't like the segment videos I had put out at the beginning of the week and they changed their mind. I don't know. But nevertheless, we went back down to 36. But then we had some pretty good shows this weekend on Whatnot. So we ticked back up to 37. So we still got our one. We were this close to getting two in 1 week, but we only got one. So we're 37 subs. So just to recap that for anybody new that's checking us out, I definitely talked a lot with quite a few Whatnot viewers about the show this weekend. So we might have a couple of them here today. So welcome anybody that's new. And just to explain the S.C.R.F.L.S goals giveaway we're doing, if you subscribe, comment, retweet, follow, like, or share any of our content anywhere, whether it be Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, anywhere, you're entered in the S.C.R.F.L.S goal giveaway. And once we hit 50 subscribers on YouTube, we will give away a CGC comic, movie tickets, a digital code to, you know, get any TV show or movie that's digitally out you want yourself, a classic action figure, and a Funko Pop. And we revealed what the classic action figure was last week. It's a classic Batman Unlimited action figure in his classic. I don't have that with me here today, but in his classic outfit, it's pretty regular, awesome Batman, in my opinion. And then the Funko Pop is Miles Morales. So that's who you can win with the S.C.R.F.L.S goals giveaway. So definitely do any of those things to enter in that. And then for the random username shout out, the random username this week is NM or N Marola. So that's NMEROLA. N Marola. If you're watching us today and you comment in the comments that you are here now or at any point during this live stream, we'll give you a 25% discount off of anything we offer on eBay at Xcellar_comics. If N Marola checks us out at any point in time and you comment on this video later, that obviously won't be live at the time, at any point in time, we'll obviously get the notification that we got the comment from you. We'll give you 10% discount on anything we offer on eBay at Xcellar_comics. All right. Then I've got the Hey Mom. And then we've got the new Fun Fan Freebie Scavenger Hunt. Patrick, I don't think you were here for this last week. Did you hear anything about it?
I caught bits and pieces. Something about it cold. It's in a cold area.
Yes. Okay. So the way this is going to work is this is a, fictional fantasy scavenger hunt. It's not going to be in the real world. I think as Mike put it, well, it's going to be like we're playing some D&D here. I'm going to put you on a scavenger hunt journey to end up in a place where you will fictionally find, oh man, I thought I had that picture still on here. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay. This CG Seed copy of Batman 44, 9.8 CGC copy. So I will lead you to a place to find this book, and I'm going to give a clue every week. And I didn't say this clearly last week. I'm only going to give a new clue. So to know where we are in the scavenger hunt, you will have to have the clues from the previous shows and then kind of put it together.
I will be selling those clues.
So as Patrick mentioned, last week's clue was we start the scavenger hunt in the coldest state in the United States.
Wait, I thought you were going to recap the old clues.
No, I know. Since that's the first time I said that, I wanted to do the recap now, but I wanted to let everybody know from this point on, it's only going to be one clue. So you have to revisit the past shows. But since I didn't mention that last week, I didn't want to have that go against anybody who was playing along at home. So the second clue involves two things. One, where it's at. It is in the capital of the coldest state of the United States. And when you get there, you will find our first addition to the Fun Fan Freebie Scavenger Hunt, which is this. Batman number 38. This is not CGC. This is just a raw copy. We'll be bagged and boarded, though. Or it is bagged and boarded. So, like I said, first two clues is we're in the coldest state of the United States. The second clue is we're in the capital of the coldest state in the United States. And this book is at the capital. So I'm going to add something every week. So it'll actually be who knows how many things. I know. No one else knows yet. Whoever knows how many items it's going to be. But at the end of this fictional journey will be this 9.8 CGC Batman.
Nice.
So, Patrick, this is your first time hearing it. Does that seem pretty clear? Because that's my concern is people listening. They're like, wait, I'm confused. Is that clear, Pat?
Yeah, except where do they go to give their guesses?
Yeah, where did we say that, Pat or Mike? Did we say here?
I don't remember. That's all.
Yeah, I guess
wow, Pat, that's a great question.
Yeah, Patrick. See, yeah, exactly why we need you. I'm on delay here. Sorry a little bit. We want it to be a secret place so everybody doesn't have it, so people aren't helping. I mean, right?
Email the website. Right?
That's let's. Well, we could just do it at XcellarComics.com or XcellarComics@gmail.com.
Yep.
That sound good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking at something. Sorry. Okay, so let us know through XcellarComics@gmail.com. And then the other thing we talked about too is And basically all we're going to be doing at Xcellar Comics, when you let me know what the answer to the clue is, I'm just confirming whether it's correct or not for you. You don't actually win anything until we get to the end. You win it all. Okay?
One person wins it all.
Huh?
One person wins it all.
Yeah, whoever gets there first wins it all. Yeah. I know it seems like I'm frozen, but this is just me thinking.
Well, you're doing it in a frozen position. If you're just sitting with your arms down, it's natural.
Oh, the other thing we talked about how often
I'm frozen. No.
about how often you can win the Fun Fan freebie. We decided 3 months is the second tick, right?
Yeah.
So unfortunately, that will only affect one person. I don't know whether Steven's here today or not, but we've got a 3 months. You can only win the Fun Fan freebie every 3 months. Steven is the one that won it. He won it twice so far. So we love him. But now you can only win once every 3 months. So like I said, the only person that affects right now is Steven. So I just wanted to clear that up as well. All right, then I want to mention two things. One, our anniversary is coming up for 1 year. It actually is September 12th since we started this podcast originally, which has become obviously a live stream since then. So the Sunday before the Monday's the 12th. So on the September 11th, Sunday, will be our 1 year anniversary show, and that's in 2 weeks. And we'll have some fun things in store. Right?
A best of show?
Huh?
A best of show. Patrick and I will take the day off.
Oh, that's actually a good idea. Not you guys taking the day off. That's not a good idea. But a best of show. That's not, where we can have some funny clips from the past, even maybe some funny audio before we were a live stream. That's a good idea. And Mike already kind of warned me to not get carried away. So you actually said that about the year-end show, Mike, which that's a whole nother thing. Yeah. That'll basically be the season 2 ending at the end of the year. But this is our 1 year anniversary, which I figured was pretty big. So I won't get carried away on that one too, but we'll have some fun things. So, be ready for that. Okay.
Ready.
Yep.
And actually, on that note, I'm not even going to mention the second thing I was going to talk about now. I'll save that. So that's it. That's all I got for the giveaways. But that's pretty good. And I'd mentioned too about the Whatnot show this weekend. I don't think I told you, Mike, but we went to 280 followers on that.
Wow.
So.
Yeah,
that was a good show Saturday, the Star Wars show. Which we're going to talk about that a little bit today because we rolled that on the segment wheel. So anyway,
yeah, it seemed like it was a lot of fun, and even in the comments, it seemed like there was a lot of good back.
Yeah, the chat was on fire. And it was literally the same thing as in the past too. About 11 o'clock, the chat hit the stride, and just it was going back and forth. They were talking to each other, and which is awesome, So.
Yep.
All right. That's enough for me because 8 out of 10 listeners say they can get enough of me. So I'll stop. All right, Mike. So I guess we're going to do cover combat first, right?
Yeah. I'll get my screen set up here.
All right. While you're getting your screen set up, I will get this set up. All right, you're on.
All right, let me get that. There we should be coming up any minute. Any minute. Okay, there we go. You guys see it?
No.
No.
There we go.
There it is. All right. So our first matchup, let me find these. They're actually out of order on my paper. Okay, we have Batman, Harley Quinn versus Dark Knights of Steel. On the other paper. Okay, this one ended at 15-5.
Okay.
There we go.
Thank God.
Alex Ross. Once again, Alex Ross.
Awesome.
Yep.
Incidentally, I'm going to take this second to plug again.
Right.
You can win this comic book by watching the Whatnot show on Friday at 7 p.m. or 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check it out for details. You can win this comic book.
Yep, that's no cheap comic book either.
Nope, it's not.
Okay, next up we have Fantastic Four 250 versus Batman 55, the B cover. This was a little bit of a landslide. It ended 19-1.
I voted for Batman, but I'm a little sad because that was the only John Byrne cover in the top, in our 60 submissions.
Yeah, isn't that kind of crazy though? Only one John Byrne.
Yeah,
that is kind of crazy. Yep.
Lots of Alex Ross in there.
Yeah, I think we talked about it'll be fun after Cover Combat's over. All the analysis we can do. Yeah, you can see all which artists made it the most, and all that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Next up, we have Spider-Man 2099 #1 versus Batman Treasury Edition. So this is Rick Leonardi going against Neil Adams.
Ooh.
Oh, geez.
That one, 11-9. It's very close.
Okay.
Basically, it's supposed to be. Next up.
That's a little surprising.
A little bit, yeah.
Yep. Next up, Superman's Girlfriend, Lois Lane, #81 versus Superman Batman 40. And this one also ended 11-9. You guys nervous?
Okay, nice. I was just curious to say, I'd be happy with this one going either way, actually.
Yep. Yeah, they're both really good.
Same thing actually with the last one too. So I can kind of feel that those would be close. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so okay.
Next up, Action Comics 441 versus Amazing Spider-Man 293. This one ended 14-6. Amazing Spider-Man 293.
Nice. Yep. My picks are doing pretty good. Doing pretty good this week so far.
All right. This is the toughest. One of the toughest. Uncanny X-Men 222 versus Thor 337.
Don't do it. I don't want to know. I'm just going to leave now. I'll come back later.
Unfortunately, it's impossible for me to skip because I hit the arrow and it reveals the next one. All right. This ended up 12-8.
Thank God. Thank you.
Poor Walt.
I guess Kevin and I are at odds on this one. This is a huge disappointment for me.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Pat. Which I definitely recognize that it's that's an awesome. This was definitely a tough one. This is the one that took me the longest to choose for sure. And obviously I'm a little biased with this cover, so
yep.
It was still tough to
I understand.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough for us old timers, because we've got, some are just really legendary looking covers. Yeah. While this X-Men cover is amazing, it's not on the same level as the Thor cover.
Yeah.
But it's those new kids. Okay, next up, Thor 587 versus Venom #1. And this one was 9-11 as well. A lot of real close ones.
That's cool. That's cool.
Venom #1.
Nice.
Yep. All right. Now, Moon Knight #9 versus X-Men #5. And once again, this X-Men, that whole stretch there with Jim Lee, legendary. Then we have Finch. Moon Knight's super hot right now. All the kids love Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Moon Knight
dagger.
13-7.
I think I've missed 2 now. Dadgummit.
All right. I wish I could have moved this one to the end to make it.
Yeah.
This is the real tough one. This one finished 14-6.
Wow, I would have thought that one would be the closer one. Yeah.
Yep. And here we go. I'm afraid to push the button. Captain America #2 defeats Uncanny X-Men 268.
2 Alex Ross winners this week.
I'm telling you, he's tough. He's tough.
That's a tough X-Men to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously that cap is a great cover. Yeah.
And it didn't dawn on me. I don't know if it dawned on you, Kevin, or even Patrick. Tom pointed it out that Captain America, of all people, is breaking flag etiquette there and letting it drape onto the ground.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't see that comment. Yeah, I didn't know that. What a fail! Come on, Cap.
Yeah,
Jeez.
No.
Maybe he's standing on a pedestal or something,
and it's hanging.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. All right, and finally we have Amazing Spider-Man 33 versus Deathstroke 40.
Oh, thank God.
Old school gets it.
Yeah.
He's very stylized.
What did you say? What the count was on this one?
No, I did not. It was 14-6.
Oh wow! Wow, that's awesome.
Yep. So definitely some close ones, some real tough ones.
Well, how about our number of voters this week, Mike?
We had 20. So we're up 2 from last week, but still down 5 from our highest.
Yeah, okay.
From our first week, yeah.
Yeah.
So everybody vote.
Yep. All right. Let me jump back in here and get rid of that.
And you know what? Actually, I said we were only going to offer the Captain America 75th anniversary Vibranium collection up till this week, but you know what? Let's just continue. Now we've got 30 finalists, so it's even easier. So predict who you think the winner will be out of the 30 covers left. We've gotten one prediction so far.
Yeah. What I can do is on the Facebook page, I'll do a post with the 30 remaining covers, just in random order. Nobody will know any upcoming matchups. So I'll do that.
And I guess it's okay if we reveal the guess so far, right? Because no one else can guess it. If it wins, it's Stevens, right?
Right, he was first. But
so,
I mean, I don't know. I mean, you don't really want to reveal that, because then everybody else is choosing from a pool of 29.
Oh, that's true. Okay, that's a good point, Mike.
If his collection doesn't win, they actually have an advantage.
But you win this book, Captain America 75th Anniversary Vibranium Collection. This retail value is $200.
You should put a quarter beside that so we can get scale.
Yeah, it's huge. Well, I had it with me last week, but it's huge.
Yeah,
and I'm serious. I think it weighs 20 pounds. It's in a slipcase, hardcover collection, and all you have to do is predict who's going to win or what cover is going to win cover combat. And you only get one guess though. And whoever guesses the correct one first wins this.
Yep.
And like I said, we've only gotten one guess in so far. So definitely get your guess in. And then also, the way I put it, I mentioned it on the Whatnot show. The way I put it is you not only can guess who it's going to be, but then you can, vote for that cover every week in the votes to make it last to the end. If you want to, participate in the weekly votes for cover combat, and it'll get you one vote closer to that goal for yourself as well. So another great giveaway. All we're asking is for participation.
Yep. It's fun participation. It's not even work.
Yeah, exactly. It's the fun stuff, right? Okay, so that was awesome. Are we going to reveal? So we're revealing round 4 now, right?
Yes.
And we're calling this round 1 of the quarterfinals. Correct?
Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
All right, so these are the 15. This is we've got 10. I'm sorry. These are 10 of the final 15 matchups.
Correct. So some of these covers we just saw win, and they're going right up against some even stiffer competition now because every cover showing has won.
Already won. Yeah.
Yep. Sorry, I'm just looking at some of these. I didn't put them in order. Well, this ought to be fun. Oh no, it's good. It's good. I'm right. There we go. Ready for the first one? Batman Harley Quinn versus Amazing Spider-Man 33.
All right.
These are so hard.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah.
Action Comics 419 versus Spider-Man 2099. Yeah, that Spider-Man just won.
All right.
These aren't in order. X-Men 222 versus Star Wars Dark Empire.
Okay.
That competition is a little bit easier this time for X-Men. Still a great cover, but I shouldn't say anything else.
Oh, we know who Mike's voting for.
Hold on. I put these in I thought I had them in the other order. Here we go. Captain America Annual number 8 versus Moon Knight Black, White, and Blood number 1.
Oh man. Oh. These are scary.
Yeah.
These are I've already got my picks in mind, but I'm worried about a couple of these, that's for sure.
Yeah, they get harder and more fun. Some of these are really fun. Next up, Venom number 1 versus Supergirl and the Legion of Superheroes, longest title ever, 23B.
Nice.
Next up, Amazing Spider-Man 293 versus Venom Lethal Weapon number 1. That's fitting. Spider-Man versus Venom.
That's good. This is gonna be an interesting week, that's for sure.
Yeah, watch this one. You ready?
Yes.
Batman 55 versus Uncanny X-Men 212.
Uh-oh.
See? That's a fun one. Next up, Superman Batman 40, Amazing Spider-Man 51.
Man, oh man, Shevitz. We are still going so many old school, new school.
Yep. All right.
Oh!
On number 1 versus Captain America number 2.
Daggum.
Whose idea was this anyway? You know, if you're not a fan of a cover, it's easy. But when you love both covers,
Yeah.
it's really hard. And finally, Avengers Classic #1 versus Wonder Woman 72.
That's an interesting one too. Yeah.
There we go.
I mean, they're all interesting, but I think I've got 8 of them picked already in my head. But yeah, 2 of these are real tough for me personally.
Yeah, I haven't even taken time. I mean, because I've been dealing with them, I kind of just get all the information down. I haven't taken the time to put a lot of thought into each matchup. So it'll be fun.
Yeah. Okay. Whew. All right.
You all right?
I'm just, thinking about my heart attack next week. That's all.
Everybody needs to come back now, support those covers that they've already pushed through the first round.
Yeah.
And see where they go from here. So keep up your support.
Definitely.
And if you're just new, come on.
Yeah.
Put your input in.
Get your input in, vote for the winner, win a big prize. Lots of good stuff.
Tell your friends.
All right, we ready for I'm up next, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna take a nap. It's your turn.
Okay. Here we go. Okay, I don't know whether y'all noticed. I talked to Patrick about it. I don't know if I talked to you about it, Mike, yet, but I had the schedule. Did you see I had the show scheduled? I actually set it up early in the week. It's something I didn't consider doing before, and I gave it a shot this week. So I kind of had to put the title, what I thought, like on Monday or whenever I did it, without really knowing what was going to be on the show yet. And then I edited it right before we started, and I took a part off. And the one part that I took off was the Sandman. Did you guys get more Sandman watched this week?
Yes, I think we're up to episode 9.
Wow. Yeah, we just watched 5 last night. So
where you guys at? Because that's why I took it away, because I didn't actually watch it this week, this weekend, or this week, because a ton of stuff. But what did y'all think? You got anything new to add from the critique or the comments on it last week?
No, it's they're still following the books really, really well. They've jumped, because some storylines are kind of just self-contained in one issue of the book.
Yeah.
So there was one, I think I can't remember. I think it was episode 4 or 5 that came later in the series. I think it was around issue like 12 or 13, something like that. And they actually played it earlier in the show. So they're playing with things like that when they're telling you certain things, but it has no effect on the overall storyline. It's still really, really done well. It's good.
Okay. Patrick?
Yeah, I mean, we watched just the one episode last night. It was, Morpheus trying to reclaim his helm in hell. And I thought it was really well done.
Well, that's good. I'm definitely going to get back on that this week. But that's great to hear you guys obviously further along than me, and it's still really good. So,
and I think it's following the book so well, because I think Neil has, such a big input.
Right.
And seeing that, I think it would be important for studios to see, when the creator of the original source material is involved heavily and they lean on them and stuff like that. It's done so much better.
Yeah, maybe he'll set up a trend where all shows and movies will do that.
Yeah, unfortunately, it seems like a lot of times they'll give the original creator credit or a byline in the credits, but it seems like they're not really hands-on. But Neil seems, he's been tweeting a lot about trying to, some people are coming at them for some decisions they made, but he's saying this is where it is right now, and looks like he's had some heavy input, so it's good to see.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, when the creator is the one that makes the changes or signs off on the changes, then I'm fine with it because it's their creation. You know, they can do that one. And you know, he wrote this 30 years ago, so you know, his mind is in a different place, stuff like that. So.
Yeah, man, when you say stuff like that out loud, it just blows your mind. This is 30 years ago. Jeez, oh man.
I saw a thing today. You guys may have seen it. It was on Facebook, that some of the younger kids now are referring to the 90s as the late 1900s. You know, it's like, come on.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw a funny one where I think it was real short, and it was someone asked to see their ID, and they just glanced at it, and they're like, okay, you're good. And they're like, what? You didn't even really look at my birthday? And he's like, I didn't need to see anything. It started with 19. I know. Yeah. Anyway, moving on from that. Okay, something I did actually watch. I watched the second episode of She-Hulk. Did you watch? Did you watch it yet, Pat?
Yes, we watched it last night.
Mike?
I haven't started She-Hulk yet.
You haven't started anything yet? Okay. I'll go first on this one. I was happy. I thought this one was it got away from what I was kind of commenting on last week. Didn't really, dwell on that, which I liked, of course. And then I like to set up the way this story's going too. And again, without having any She-Hulk comic history, it's all new to me. And is the way this story went in this episode, Patrick, is that anything that's from the comics?
No, I mean, I would say that they're on character. She seems like the She-Hulk that we know, from the comics.
Okay. Well, I think that, it's nice to have a story you're familiar with when, seeing it visually, but then it's also nice to get a brand new story too, right?
Right.
So, yeah, Mike, do you want to check out so I can recap this episode?
Yeah, I'll say one thing real quickly. I think it's important, like Patrick said, that if they're staying on character, that's one of the most important things. And if they're not talking about any specific storylines from the books, yeah, it's a great avenue for new stories. So that's the biggest key. Stay on character, and if you do something from the book, follow the book. If not, then it's all fun.
Yeah. Did you want to check out before I give a recap on this?
Yeah, I'm gonna go get my coffee.
I'll take the picture down when it's safe to come back. Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right. So to recap this, she gets fired because she hulked out at the end of episode 1, and they ended up losing that case because she hulked out, and I don't know, is she a prosecutor or a defense attorney? I forget.
No, when it comes to lawyer terms, I'm not.
Okay. Well, anyway, she ended up losing that case, so they fired her just because they figured she'd be a liability with every case going forward. But then she gets hired by another firm because she's She-Hulk. This is what happens in episode 2. At the beginning, she gets fired, and then she gets hired by another firm because she is She-Hulk. And then they expect her to be She-Hulk, while they want her She-Hulk all the time because they're selling her as a, defense, a superhero defense attorney, right, Pat?
Yeah, right.
So she's torn about whether she wants to do that at all, but then realizing her situation, she ultimately decides. What was someone kind of gave her a talk, and that's what kind of convinced her to finally do it, right? I forget what that was, though. Do you remember, Pat?
She talked to Bruce, and she talked to her dad. Her dad was supportive of her.
Yeah. What was the thing that there was something that kind of turned her around? One thing that was said, wasn't there? In particular, one thing in particular? No?
I'm not sure.
Guess she just realized her plight, and she kind of felt stuck that she kind of had to go, maybe, I guess, right?
Yeah, well, she didn't know about the She-Hulk part till she got there.
Right. Why didn't she want to go there in general then?
She did want to go there, But then when she found out about the She-Hulk part, then she was conflicted.
Oh, that's when the conflict
Yeah,
came for her.
right.
Okay. And then he just said, once he told her that and she was obviously upset about it, then he said, well, let me know by the end of the week or something like that. Okay, gotcha.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah. So then she agrees to work with this firm, and then she finds out her first case is to defend the Abomination. What's his character name, or
Emil Blonsky.
Yeah. And I thought that was great for a couple reasons. Because I just like when the MCU mixes with the show, with the shows, in general. But then also I loved it too because, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the first time there's been any kind of real recognition from the original Edward Norton Jr. Incredible Hulk into anything latter. Isn't that accurate? I mean, aside from general, Hulk things, obviously, they're, no pun intended, general Hulk things. I was going to use the general as a reference. They talk about the general and he's been in and out of the MCU, but that's kind of really a broad thing. I thought with it actually being the Abomination from the Incredible Hulk movie was finally the validation that, hey, everybody, the Edward Norton Incredible Hulk is legit MCU,
Yeah. Well,
I always feel like that's dismissed, and I love that one. I love that Incredible Hulk.
Well, the Abomination is in Shang-Chi.
Oh, he is?
Remember that?
No.
And they're sort of tying it in right here, right now. I don't know if it's happening concurrently because Wong was breaking the Abomination out to be in the Fight Club. Remember?
No, I'm totally blank. Even with you mentioning it right now, I'm still blanking on it. I've only seen Shang-Chi once, obviously, or I shouldn't say obviously, but only once when it was in theater. And I'm totally forgetting that. Maybe I fell asleep when that happened.
Yeah, they when they go to visit Shang-Chi's birthplace, they go to that Fight Club, and Wong is fighting the Abomination, and apparently Wong is the one that brought him there, busted him out of jail, and it seems like that's what's actually happening right now in this episode of She-Hulk.
Oh, okay. Oh man, that's see, man, that's why I love you, man. Everybody correcting me, I never hold that against anybody. I need to be corrected, and I love it when it happens most of the time. So yeah, I'm going to check out Shang-Chi again before I get to episode 3, so I can experience that, because that makes it way cooler than I was even thinking.
Yeah, and even more so than that, when they were showing him being transported, or when Wong was taking the Abomination, he was in that cell that's shown right on She-Hulk. So everything's, they
matching perfectly.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And I don't want to hijack your review, but did you catch the other reference to the Ed Norton movie when she was talking to Bruce? They use it as a comedy beat. It was
no, I don't think I did. What was it?
They said he's literally a different person now.
Oh no, I didn't catch that. That's funny.
From when he fought the Abomination, he's literally a different person now.
Yeah. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. So yeah, that's what, the way this show ends is she decides she's going to defend him because she met with him and he kind of told her he wasn't the Abomination anymore, and also told her that, hey, they pumped me with, all this super serum. I thought I was going to be another Captain America. He kind of uses that like he thought he was going to be a good guy, which obviously we all know is a little bit of BS. So she convinces him it's okay to defend me. And then sure enough, at the end of the episode, somebody tells her to turn on the TV, and it's showing that the Abomination is busted out of his cell. And she's like, oh crap, what did I just do? So yeah, I thought this episode was fun. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, and another little Easter egg, which I'd kind of seen beforehand, and it happened so fast you really have to be paying attention. But when She-Hulk was on her laptop, when Jen Walters was on her laptop, over in the sidebar, there were some news articles, links, and one was about the giant Eternal, the Celestial from Eternals in the middle of the ocean.
Oh man,
nice. That's the first mention of that. And another big one, if you want to read into it, is it talks about a man in Canada in a barroom fight with metal claws.
Oh wow, yeah, I didn't. Man, I'm definitely gonna rewatch this episode. Well, I'm gonna rewatch Shang-Chi, and then I'm gonna rewatch this episode.
And something else going back to the first episode we didn't mention, which it's no big deal, but it seems like Marvel finally got an idea in their head, just like Moon Knight. They're showing QR codes everywhere, and I'm guessing if you scan that QR code in the first episode of She-Hulk, you're gonna get a download to a She-Hulk comic.
Yeah, I saw that was that in the Moon Knight. So yeah, I didn't notice those. So okay, I'll check all that out.
I mean, it's a no-brainer for Marvel. That's what they should be doing. Stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
They can keep it subtle. You kind of notice it, but you kind of don't, because QR codes are everywhere these days. So
yeah,
why not push people to the comics?
And then the after credits on this one was definitely much more amusing than the previous episode too.
Yeah, this episode felt like it would have been okay for Valor to watch. We watched it without him this time, but there was nothing like the first one that I felt was that inappropriate.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah, exactly. I agree. But that was funny. That after credit was pretty funny,
Yeah.
And then just enjoying what's his name? I can't remember the actor's name. The Perfect Strangers actor from back in the day. Yeah, he's
Mark Wynn Baker, I think is his name. Yeah.
Yeah, he's great. He's great.
Yeah, he was really good. I was glad to see he was very supportive of her and everything, and
yeah,
the whole family dynamic was pretty good.
Yeah, definitely.
They've already been down this Hulk road in their family once before.
Right. Yeah. That's he mentioned that. That's one thing I can't. Again, I'm flaking specifically, but I think they were just at the dinner table, and she makes a comment, and then he's like, "Yeah, we've been through this whole thing before, so yeah, we got it." Yeah.
Right.
All right. So yeah, I'm recommending definitely this episode at the very least is where I am on this, which is making me happy. That's for sure. So
goes by quick though.
It does. It doesn't. It definitely seems shorter than it is, and it's short to begin with. It's
Yeah.
All right. Then, speaking of adult stuff, I'll watch this. Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon. Maybe we'll give a second here for Pat or for Mike. Mike, you around? There you go. Okay.
Yeah, I was watching on my phone with the volume turned down.
Okay. Has anybody watched this yet?
No.
I've
never seen Game of Thrones at all. I know. Sorry.
Patrick, twice.
What?
Twice, Emily and I have started watching season 1. I think we got like 3 episodes in. While we love it, it just stuff happened and we never got back to it.
It's just a show that we didn't have. We canceled HBO before Game of Thrones started, and we still don't have HBO, so we've never caught up on it.
Well, I only got HBO, so I'm kind of similar to both y'all's story a little bit. So I had
Patrick and I'll go ahead and leave for a minute if you want to review.
Well, no, apparently you don't care, so I can review this but I can't remember what I originally had HBO Max for, and then I let it cancel because I wasn't interested in anything else. But when I originally had it, I was like you, Mike. We watched like the first 2 episodes and didn't really get into it, and so we didn't really care to get back. But then I can't remember exactly what happened. I think maybe Tyler watched it all and gave it rave reviews, and obviously everybody else was that I knew or that I read anywhere. And so then we got HBO Max again just to watch the Game of Thrones, and we watched through every. Oh, it was right when the final season was finally coming back, because I think it was 2 years in between the season 8 and season 9, or was it season 7 and season 8? I think, but whatever. I think it was at least a couple years. So we got it back whenever the final season came back, and then we binged everything, fell in love with it, and then ultimately a little bit disappointed with the final season, like so many people. But I don't hate it though. Let me start there. I am not a hater of the final season of Game of Thrones. I think definitely could have been better, but overall, I don't hate it. Biggest complaint I had about it was that it was rushed. I mean, I know this really doesn't mean anything to y'all, but I felt like the final season of Game of Thrones could have been spread out and been done better over like 3 more seasons, regardless of what the climax was like that everybody complains about. That was my biggest complaint. But anyway, so this is Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon. This takes place I do believe it's 175 years before the events in Game of Thrones. And this won't mean a whole lot to y'all, but the girl there in the middle is a Targaryen, and that's kind of the original Game of Thrones series follows a lot of families, which I'm not going to get into all the weeds of all the show. That's what makes the show so great to me, and I think most people. This is a deep show. This has a lot of moving parts, a lot of politics. It is violent. It is, it's got all the adult stuff in it, and it's high quality. And to kind of put the first, Game of Thrones in a nutshell is that we kind of followed the journey of a Targaryen girl and how she matures and runs up the ranks of power and then becomes the queen, to sit on the Iron Throne. That's what the Game of Thrones is about. The Iron Throne is, what the king, or in the first season's ending, primary focus was a queen ascending to the throne because it was her right. She was the rightful heir. So of course, one of those old stories, where there's a king, but then the queen or female is the rightful heir, and she had to basically struggle. And that's what all those seasons are about. And there's a bunch of other stuff going on, but that's kind of it in a nutshell. And this kind of starts to, seem to have a real similar story to the Game of Thrones. It's another female Targaryen, and she is the rightful heir to the Iron Throne. And did you see you got this, Mike? Look at that. Somebody's disappointed in you. I hope that's a Game of Thrones disappointment. But anyway,
I think it is.
So
I voted for all his covers.
Huh?
I said I voted for all his covers.
Yeah. So basically, this is following a similar story. And man, I told my wife this morning, because I watched it last night, and I watched it. It was this morning technically, because I did the Whatnot show so late, and then I watched this, and it is every bit, in my opinion, as good as the original Game of Thrones. And boy, when I watched this episode, I realized how much I actually missed that there was no Game of Thrones to watch anymore, because this was amazing, in my opinion.
The trailer, that dragon looks awesome.
Oh yeah, that's the big difference between the two. So in the Game of Thrones, all the dragons are thought to be dead until this Targaryen woman basically has 3 dragon eggs that she's able, as a Targaryen, because they control dragons, she's able to bring them back into the world. And man, why am I blanking on her name right now? But anyway,
Jason Momoa's girlfriend in the show, right?
Right, exactly. Well, wife.
Wife, right.
But in this one, since it's 175 years prior, there's actually 10 adult dragons in this world from episode 1. And the Targaryens are the leaders. They are currently on the Iron Throne, and they control all the dragons. So it's one of those stories where there's no one can touch them from the outside. So they're going to have to fall apart from the inside. Same old, power story there. And it's got a lot of events that happened in the first episode. And it's pretty shocking a couple times. So yeah, I loved it. So big recommend on this, but humongous adult warning on this. In every way you can imagine you'd want an adult warning, this show has it. So I don't recommend, my son is 29. I don't even want him to watch it.
Yeah,
but
tell him, look, I'll always be your dad. I'm telling you.
Yeah. I'm obviously just kidding there. But anyway, this is great stuff. Definitely watch it.
And it being a prequel, we can watch it. Patrick and I can watch it, and the show's not ruined.
Yeah,
because we haven't seen Game of Thrones. We're not going to be wondering anything.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend watching the Game of Thrones before this. because even though you don't need to know it, it's still fun to know the things you don't need to know. You know how it goes with prequels. Yeah. You don't need to. You could just start here. Yeah, but Khaleesi is the name that was escaping me too. So Khaleesi is the main female in Game of Thrones. You know, the beautiful. They've all got like white hair. You know, they're all the Targaryens. You know, basically, if you see a character with white hair in Game of Thrones, they're Targaryen. So anyway, and then this is an exciting week. I mentioned the anniversary coming up for us soon. So this is another coming soon. This actually comes out on Friday. The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. This is on Amazon Prime. This is a Prime original. And are you all excited for this at all? Pat? Mike?
It looks interesting, but we don't have Amazon Prime, so.
Man.
Yeah, I haven't paid a whole lot of attention to it because I still have She-Hulk to watch.
Did you ever finish Obi-Wan?
Yeah, I finished Obi-Wan.
Did you ever finish? Are you caught up with the Mando?
Yeah, I'm good on all the Star Wars except for I'm good on all of it.
Okay, cool. Okay.
But there's just so much other stuff in line before this. And I know they're going to be huge. A huge undertaking.
I didn't know you were. I thought you were a Lord of the Rings guy, Pat. No.
Yes and no. I mean, I'm not a huge mega fan. I guess I would say, but I enjoyed. Here, okay. So honestly, right. I still have yet to see the second two Hobbit movies. I've only seen the first Hobbit movie. So you can judge me right there. I love.
Obviously, if you haven't seen the second two Hobbit movies, I can see how Rings of Power wouldn't be on your radar. Definitely.
I mean, I love the first Lord of the Rings movies in the theaters. I mean, I thought they were awesome, but I think when the Hobbit was coming out, Valar was young, and we just didn't get to the movies. So, just one of those things.
I need to share some some usernames and some passwords with you. Anything you need, I got. But so I'm kind of I was actually going with you at first in the way that I don't consider myself a huge Uber Lord of the Rings fan. I don't have anything kind of paraphernalia or statues or toys or anything, but I do love the movies, and I even love the Hobbits too, which people have complaints about those. Basically, that it's 3 movies from one book. You know, I guess is the biggest one, and they didn't do it exactly right or whatever. You know, that same old story. Well, I never read the Hobbit, so I was fine with whatever they gave me, and I loved them. And I thought 2 and 3 of the Hobbits are great too. So I definitely recommend you check those out. So I'm pretty excited about this. There's a lot of I guess I hate even saying this, controversy. I guess I don't know if it's actually controversy or people just drumming up crap to start crap, you know, about some gender and race issues with who would be in the Lord of the Rings. I don't care about any of that though. Like I said, maybe it's because I'm not an Uber fan to begin with, but I guess there's a lot of that going on in here, which I don't care. I just want it to be good, of course. Mm-hmm. And I actually heard all that stuff interestingly enough with the Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, and I didn't experience any negative with some changes or not changes with some seemingly out of place characters. If you just cared about the original Game of Thrones, but I didn't care about it because it was just good. And that's what I want from this. I obviously haven't seen this yet because it comes out this Friday, but there is like 10 trailers too, which there's a lot of stuff to check out for this. If you have Amazon Prime, you can go on there now, and they've like put out a trailer like every week for a long time, you know. So yeah. There's a lot to see without actually being able to see it yet. So I'm super excited.
Yeah, I think they put a lot of money into this.
Yeah, I heard that too. Exactly.
They're really counting on it doing well. So, but I was gonna watch it, but I've got to watch Game of Thrones now.
Yeah, definitely go there. Do that. I expect, even with comparing it to the Lord of the Rings movies and how great they are, just do Game of Thrones first. Well, watch Lord of the Rings with your kids and Game of Thrones with your wife, and just you two.
I've got the weirdest kids on the planet because they have no interest in the Lord of the Rings movies. Even if I pull up the really fun action scenes, they're just like, nah. So I don't know what's wrong with them.
What's going to happen is once they grow up, there's going to be some new Lord of the Rings thing that'll turn them on to going back and checking out the old stuff. That's probably what happened. So
I hope so, because then I can say I told you so.
Exactly. I've done that many times with Ayla.
Yeah.
Which that's where she is. She's all this stuff she's loving. And same thing with, how Tyler's getting into comics now. So,
yeah.
All right. Yeah, so
your parents know stuff, right?
Yes. So I didn't get, with everything I got going on with the whatnot and everything, that's actually all I got watched this week. Well, I take that back. I've watched a lot of The Office, but that's not exactly our jam or for this show. But I've had The Office on all week while I'm doing all my whatnots and my videos and everything. That's on in the background, which who doesn't love? I don't know anybody that doesn't love The Office. Yeah. Patrick?
Never seen it.
Wait, what?
You're joking.
I'm joking.
Okay, thank God. And you love it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. My comment still stands strong. I don't know anybody who doesn't love The Office. All right. Moving on. I do believe it's back to you, Mike.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I just went full screen. So.
Well, you got 20 or no, you got 30 seconds. 23 seconds. You ready?
Right, I'm ready.
All right, here we go.
Okay, so the Profits is now closed, and we had no submissions. Mainly because I think Steven probably has to work today or something.
He's dune bugging.
Yeah, he's dune bugging in Vegas.
So our 10 books. Once again, I found that I'm picking 7, and then I'm allowing Marcus to pick 3. Which is working out fun. It's fun for him.
Yeah, that gets a different take. Yeah.
So we've got X-Men 14, Martin Coccolo, Moon Knight, Black, White, and Blood #4, Rod Reese, Ant-Man #2, Tom Riley. And about this Ant-Man, it's a 4-issue miniseries, and each cover, 1, 2, 3, and 4, has a different. It's the same layout, has a different Ant-Man suit on it, so it's a really neat set to put together. I highlighted that. Wonder Girl Annual 2022 by Joelle Jones, Harlequin Annual 2022 by Jim Lee, and obviously that's a
homage.
Yeah, Jim Lee homaging Jim Lee.
Yeah.
Anyway,
although I think this has a lot of Ryan Sook influence on that cover.
Yeah, I didn't. I should have put Sook on there as well.
I'm not sure how much Jim actually did. Maybe I actually thought maybe he was just working from a blue line of the original Batman cover because it's identical, I think.
Yeah, and he might have done that. Yeah, it's a good thing to point out. Up next is Amazing Fantasy 1000 by Steve McNiven. Fortnite X. Is that Fortnite times Marvel? Fortnite versus Marvel? I don't know. Fortnite Marvel 4. Lionel Francis Liu. It should be. Yeah, I typed it wrong. X-Force 31, Joshua Cassara, Obi-Wan #4, Phil Noto, and Mech Strike #3, EJ Sue. So
hold on a second.
Yeah.
What's the Fortnite cover?
with the robot and Dr. Doom.
Okay. I see. Okay, that's right. Okay.
I might have got the pictures out of order. Or Mike has his list out of order.
Okay, that's what was
Versus the
confusing me a
picture,
little bit. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I may have. I've got so many lists going on. So Marcus picked 3 of these. He picked the Mech Strike, which I glanced right over. And then when I actually looked at it, when he pointed it out, I was like, "Oh, that is kind of cool." He picked Obi-Wan and X-Force 31. Those are Marcus.
Oh, well, I figured that X-Force would definitely be with you with Craven on there.
Well, I didn't even. I felt that it was too cluttered, so it didn't even pop to me. And then whenever he picked it, I looked at it again larger, and I thought, "Oh wow, that is really good."
Yeah.
So, all right. So here we go with number 3, X-Force. I actually voted for this.
It's good.
Yep. So this was this had 5 votes.
Okay.
And up next with 6 votes. And Johnny commented that this one bothered him. So he's not going to.
Let me guess why.
I don't know why.
Oh, he didn't tell you?
No. So we've got Obi-Wan number 4. He didn't tell me
why would that bother John?
I don't know. Johnny, comment below.
Yeah.
And finally, at number 1 with 7 votes. Let me look here and see who voted for it. No. Oh, neither of you guys did.
Yep.
Joelle Jones, Wonder Girl, annual.
This was I almost picked this one. It was almost beautiful to me, but not quite, because as I looked at it more to decide if it was going to be a winner for me, I couldn't get that weird eye look out of my face. There's something up with that.
Well, now I see it.
Yeah.
This one crossed off my list right away, right off the bat. It was gone.
Really?
Any
particular reason why?
I just didn't like it.
Okay.
And the eye, the eye is part of it. Yeah.
Well, when I first just kind of glanced at it, I liked it. That's why it made my short list, because I just, I thought they were going for that, that piercing eye, you see people, some women have, which obviously is gorgeous. I thought, that's what it's going for. And I bought into it, but the more I looked into it, it didn't seem that good to me.
Which eye? The far one in shadow?
No, the close one.
Close one? Oh.
For me, it's the one in shadow. It just looks, something's not right there.
Oh yeah. Now I'm even looking at that one even more now too. And you're right. It looks like she doesn't have a left eye. Yeah. She's like, her eyeball's been taken out. Here we are again, ripping up
the number 1 book of the week for the
Don't
rest.
buy this book. But anyway, that's cool. How many did you say? How many votes this had? You said
7. Yeah,
7. Okay.
It was spread out. There were a lot of 2 votes, 3 votes. Mech Strike unfortunately received 0 votes.
And you had some no shows this week too, probably because of the hockey tournament too, right?
No. Well, I got the usual suspects are all here. There were 2.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, there were 2 that are not usual that didn't show up.
Hey, just to tell you guys, I don't even know if I mentioned it to you, Pat. Did you know Tyler was in a hockey tournament this week?
Yeah, I saw the pictures.
Okay. Yeah, that is so awesome. So it's a disabled veterans tournament that's totally sponsored. They don't have to pay anything. Did you see the 2 awesome jerseys that Ty got?
Yeah.
They don't have to pay for those either. They just give them those. And all you have to do is be a vet that wants to play hockey and sign up. It's that easy. And the games were good. I wanted to go again today, but for obvious reasons I couldn't. And it was a lot of fun. It was like every bit of maybe I was a little influenced because obviously Tyler was playing, but it was like a NHL experience as far as I was concerned. It was awesome. The crowd wasn't that huge, but it was a lot of fun. And Tyler got a sick, backhand goal. It was
so it looked great. Like there. Yeah, cool. Where was that? Is it like it almost looked like the Lemieux practice center here in our area. It looked like something similar.
Exactly. It was the Capitals training facility in this in Arlington, Virginia. Yeah.
Did it make Tyler a little sick to skate on Capitals ice?
Yeah, there's a lot of red and obviously a lot of posters and all that stuff around, so it was a little nerve-wracking, but we showed up in our Penguins gear, and obviously they're the Pittsburgh Warriors with Penguins logo, so it's and everybody was respectful. There was nobody, so we survived. Let me just say
Right.
that. I did go there because I wanted to get these. They had some cool sweatshirts and stuff, but apparently you can only get them online because I did. And this was the hardest part for me, going into the Capitals merchandise store, with all the Capitals gear and hats and everything. That was I had to take a deep breath and hold my breath when I walked through there to see if that's where they were selling the vet stuff too. But yeah, we survived. It was great. All right. So moving on. Everybody ready for the comic book reviews? Mike, did you get a comic book read this week?
I did better than that. I read 4 of them.
Oh, nice. Making up.
Actually 5, but the last issue really didn't have a whole lot to review about it. So yeah, I did.
Awesome. Okay. Here we go. All right.
Looks like I'm last. Oh,
Looked like Mike's first.
that's funny.
I don't know what happened there. It's just it switches sometimes. I don't know. Do you want to go first, Mike? If you don't want to, I
I'll
can.
go first.
Okay.
I got a lot of notes.
Okay, cool.
I also have a lot of pictures. So
Nice.
what I reviewed, and this kind of was stemmed by Johnny asking me if I had read them, and I hadn't.
Oh, I've got something to say there. I've been listening, ever since you mentioned about coming up with all the movies I reviewed and coming up with a list. I've been working on that by listening to all of our old podcasts.
Yeah.
And in one of the podcasts, Johnny is bagging and boarding really loudly, and so we have a conversation about it. And I asked him, I was like, "Oh, did you get some new comics? Or that's why you're bagging more?" He's like, "No, I'm changing out. I don't get new comics." But then he did that post this week.
Mhm.
He got some new comics.
Yeah, that was good to see.
Johnny's back. All right. Anyway, go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
So I read Little Monsters 1 through 5. This is just a screen capture of my CLZ app. That 4th one is a variant for issue 3. I don't have issue 6 yet because it's still coming in the mail. And
Okay.
So these have all come out a while ago, but the trade paperback for issues 1 through 6 comes out October 5th. It's by Jeff Lemire and artwork by Dustin Nguyen. I think those two they're a perfect match for each other.
Awesome team. Yeah.
What's great about the art, real quickly, on these, so on the covers we get Dustin's watercolors, which I think are great. I was a little bit, after Ascender and Descender, I was hoping to see something different, and he did. He ended up doing traditional art inside. I think there's some watercolors in there too. So This is the inside. It's all in black and white with some red. So basically we've got, it starts off, there are 8 vampire kids, and they're waiting on the elder to return. They were told to stay in this certain area of a city because it's safe there. Basically, it's been 100 years since they've been sitting there waiting, so they're extremely bored. And all they do is they play games, they sleep, and they feed on rats and mice. These are sort of the characters. So that out of the 8, you've got, and I might be saying these names incorrectly, but I read this one as Romy. I don't know if somebody else would say Rami. So there's Romy there. This is Yi. And there we have Lucas. He's the one playing the guitar. And then Ronnie and Raymond are twins. I think it's great. The missing tooth is on the opposite side of their mouth.
Oh, okay.
Tell the difference between the two.
That's good. Yeah.
Then we've got Billy. He seems to be the leader of them all. I mean, he's just the one that's the most outspoken one that kind of, I guess, leads the way. They kind of follow him. Yeah. Bats. He seems like the oldest of the group. Him and was it Lucas and Vicky, and that's that. So those are all the kids.
And you said they're waiting for the elder, like there's one, or elders a bunch they're waiting.
Well, they're waiting for the elder, but
Okay.
later on they reference elders. So I
Okay.
think there's one specific one that created them all, because at the beginning of each issue, you get like a 3 or 4 page flashback on how each individual one became a vampire. So I think they're all waiting for that one elder who's off with the other elders.
Okay.
So so it starts off with we get the introduction of them. Then Romy is he's been the vampire the longest. Well, we don't know if it's a boy or girl, because they refer to Romy as they, not he or she. So it's they haven't decided what yet. But Romy is out close to sunrise, and they usually all go back to sleep in their own individual rooms. But Romy's not back, so Billy goes out to see if he can find Romy, and he ends up finding a man instead, and he ends up feeding on that man, and he loves how it feels, since before all they've fed on were rats and mice, and the human blood gives him this energy, and
Okay.
there he's never felt like himself before, and now he does. So he convinces all the other group to the rest of the group to go out and find, or he takes them to this man so they can feed on him.
Interesting.
Yep. Lucas and Yi are the two. They go off on their own. The guitar player and the other girl, and they're not with the group. And Romy, who still hasn't been found, ends up running into the daughter of the man that Billy just fed on.
Okay.
And Romy's a mute, so there's no dialogue from Romy. They kind of write on a notepad. And the daughter had followed her father out when she wasn't supposed to, and now she's in a tough spot. So this is her and Romy being friends, and they end up crossing paths with Lucas and Yi again. And this is they meet them, and it's kind of interesting. This is our first encounter with a human. They've had 100+ years of just each other. But so the group with Billy, they all find the rest of the humans. They attack them. They kill them all except for one. And I think it's interesting that change is a theme that Jeff Lemire focuses on during the first 4 issues. And there's little narration boxes, talking about change. And issue 4 ends with one that says, "But no change comes without a cost." And I will save the spoiler for what that cost is. You guys got to go read it to find out. It's pretty devastating.
Okay.
And this panel just talks about change as well. She doesn't like change, but Lucas is kind of telling her that it's inevitable. Change is good too. So that is it, and it's a must. Johnny mentioned that he felt that it moved along too slowly. For me, it was fine because I read them all one after the other.
Okay.
And, I thought it was great, but I can see where he was coming from, because that's the way I felt Descender and Ascender is you pick it up and it was kind of like The Walking Dead, when you read it and a couple minutes later you're done. But these were really, really good. I think if you get the trade paperback or read them all in one sitting, you'll definitely love it. It's and even for those that aren't fans of horror,
That's what I was just going to say. Okay.
this
All
is
right.
really good. It's really good. So sorry for the slideshow.
Yeah, no problem.
I like showing pictures. There are so many characters. I was trying to figure out how to keep the characters straight.
Gotcha. Yeah, that helped, I think. So that was good.
Yeah, it actually would be nice if they had like on the inside of the cover, they had headshots of all the characters to keep them in your mind every issue. I think it would be kind of be helpful.
Yeah. We only get that in issue 1. I shared those panels. That was all the first few pages, and then it jumps right into the story. But yeah, I agree.
All right, what you got, Pat?
Okay. Let me see here. S.C.R.F.L.S, Captain Marvel #1.
All right.
By Peter David and Juanan Ramirez. First of all, I'll say that I was a big fan of Peter David's, probably late 90s run on Captain Marvel, S.C.R.F.L., with Chris Cross, the artist. And it was always in danger of cancellation. There was a small but strong fan base for the book, which seems to be a case with a lot of Peter David books. But he was always at constant odds with Marvel, and there was a little bit of a uproar between him and Joe Quesada at the time about trying to keep this book alive, and he'd take a pay cut and all this stuff, and it led to a lot of miscellaneous things, but eventually it did kind of peter out and was canceled, no pun intended. But I was a big fan of the book. I liked the character. I liked him ever since he appeared in Avengers Forever, which was a limited series back in the day. He was one of the Avengers that was picked from the future in the case of that story, but then they brought him into the mainstream Marvel universe. And he basically, you kind of see there on the cover, he was bonded with Rick Jones, much like Rick Jones was bonded with the original Captain Marvel back in the day, and they would clang their bands together and swap places with each other from the microverse. So it was always a fun book. It had a lot of funny elements, with Rick Jones being added to the mix. Eventually, in the original book, Rick married a character named Marlowe. And that book, like I said, that book ended. Along the way, S.C.R.F.L. died, came back. Rick has died, came back. He's become the Abomination in the Hulk books. He's been through the Resurrection storyline with the Immortal Hulk, I believe. I still have yet to finish that book up. But he's no longer Abomination. Everyone's back. Everyone's back and living in this. It's set in current Marvel continuity. Peter David has been doing a lot of these type of books. He did Symbiote Spider-Man, which was set back in the day. He's doing the Maestro books, which is future, so you kind of don't have to worry about that. And here he's back on Captain Marvel, S.C.R.F.L. And basically you're kind of in the character's shoes. You don't you're trying to regain your balance. You're back and you're living again. It turns out that this version of S.C.R.F.L. is a clone of Captain Marvel. But he doesn't have the memories. So he's trying to get the memories back, and someone's trying to help him with that. Meanwhile, Rick is back and he's looking for Marlowe, and there's a lot of flashbacks back and forth, trying to figure out what happened to Marlowe and S.C.R.F.L. regaining his memories. So it can be confusing, jumping back and forth, but basically you're kind of getting the impression that Peter David is trying to get back to his status quo of S.C.R.F.L. and Rick Jones being bonded as one, because Rick is sort of like losing consciousness and he's phasing through things, and S.C.R.F.L. is having his own problems. And it just seems like the answer to these problems is to get them mashed back together again. I think that's where the story's headed. But there's a big reveal at the end. Thanos is back as well. I don't know where we stand on Thanos in the comics world of the Marvel universe, but apparently he was also dead, and he's back too, and he's after S.C.R.F.L. for some reason. Long history between Thanos and the original Captain Marvel, so yeah, it makes sense that would happen here too. But as it stands right now, it's kind of it's really a setup book. I'm as a big fan of the character, I'm sort of leaning towards get it, but I'm still on the undecided fence here. So like I said, setup book. We just have to wait to see how things play out. And that's the only book I read. I wanted to go back and mention the Frankenstein book from last week real quickly. I felt bad after I thought about it, saying that you really had to know a lot about past events between Hellboy and the BPRD and their universe. And the more I thought about it, you really don't have to. You can take it at face value as this little girl's story in the journey with Frankenstein. So I think I was a little too harsh. It is, and all good writers should be like this, where the story doesn't alienate a new reader. And after I thought about it, it does that. You could come in as a newcomer. The little bits and pieces of Hellboy lore and BPRD sprinkled in there certainly would enhance the book and your reading and enjoyment of it, but not really necessary. And that kind of, I don't know if that's going to work the same way for S.C.R.F.L. Captain Marvel here, because there's a lot of old, history to unpack, and it's so we're kind of sort of similar stories here. You're kind of relying on older stories to make the new stories make sense, but a good story should make sense and stand on its own. And
yeah, would you say more than make it make sense, just make it be good? Like, if you don't have the history,
yeah,
even if you can make sense of it, you think it would still be good? That's kind of,
yes,
right?
that's a better way of saying it. And I would say for Frankenstein, that's definitely the case. It's a good book. It could stand on its own. Here with S.C.R.F.L., I'm not so sure yet,
Okay.
because you're dealing with flashbacks forward and backward, and two characters, trying to sort of figure out what's going on. I'm more undecided to give a recommendation on this book, but if you're a S.C.R.F.L. fan, old Captain Marvel fan, Peter David fan, you're probably going to want to check it out anyway.
Okay. Well, kind of hopping on that same kind of idea, House of Slaughter. Mike, did you get to read that at all yet? Because I
No.
kind of gave that the same review. I felt like without having the history of something that's killing the children, I was a little lost, or it didn't seem good to me because of that.
Right.
But you didn't get a chance to catch up with that yet?
No, I'll make no. I've forgotten. We talked about that. Yeah, I'll pull those out. I'll get those read for next week.
And then the same thing I said about the new Fantastic Four. Patrick, did you
Yes.
get a chance to check that out?
I read the first issue, and they talk a little bit about the old stories, but I certainly don't think it's necessary. I think I enjoyed it a bit more than you did.
Okay.
Yeah, you didn't have to know anything about that old story to
Gotcha. Okay.
make sense. Yeah.
All right. Well, I read something I've been meaning to get to for a while. Halcyon. Is that how you say it?
I don't think I've ever even seen this book. This is new to me.
So this is number 4, actually.
That's
Or
the last
actually,
issue.
Number five. So are you familiar with the Halcyon?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So this is, Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser Halcyon Legacy. This is by Ethan Sachs, does the story, and Will Sliney does the art. And, I've been picking this up since the beginning, and I just jumped in with number 5. Basically what I did when we talked, this is one I plan on continuing on with. I just grabbed what I thought I'd out of the recent DCBS order and started from here. So the Halcyon is the name of the ship okay, is the Halcyon, the Galactic Star Cruiser. I don't know whether the name of the ship is Halcyon Legacy or this story is just the Halcyon Legacy talking about the ship, which is just named the Halcyon. And through reading this book, it didn't really answer that question for me either, you know. So, but anyway, this story. I should say, I don't know the entire story, of course, what's led up to 5, but basically in this issue, we join in where there's a pirate he's basically got the Halcyon hijacked. He's trying to find some rebel plans. You know, it kind of puts you in mind of like episode 4 at the beginning, you know, just Star Wars: A New Hope, where and there's this pirate called Crimson Jack. He's hijacked the Star Cruiser for the purpose of just finding someone on there that actually has these rebel or actually plans. They're plans that they stole from the First Order, and that will help the rebels fight the First Order. Like I said, real similar to kind of origin Star Wars stuff. And like I said, we joined this kind of already in progress, and the guy that they think has the plans escapes in a escape pod. Again, similar to Star Wars origin stuff. So he actually takes the ship that he came on to hijack, the Halcyon Legacy, or just the Halcyon, whatever, and leaves to go get the escape pod to capture the guy he thinks has the plans. And basically, while he's away, he leaves a few of his henchmen behind to keep control, because that's how he's kind of threatening them to give me the plans, is by I'll kill all the passengers. This is like a luxury cruiser. There's a bunch of passengers like they're on a cruise ship out in the middle of space, you know. And of course, while he's away, there are characters on the Halcyon that basically rebel against the henchmen and beat them and win their ship back. That's basically what happens. And then he finds out that the guy that escaped in the escape pod is not the one that actually has the plans. But by the time he gets back to the Halcyon, it's back in control of of all the good people, and his mission has failed. And then by the end of the book, the rebels actually accomplish their mission of getting the First Order's, plans to the rebellion itself. So the interesting part about this, and I don't exactly know why it went this way, but I kind of felt, I don't know exactly why I felt it, but I kind of felt like maybe each issue is what I'm getting ready to tell you, where what I told you just happened is what happens in real times. But in the middle of this book, they flash back to maybe 80 years prior of this one lady that's on the Halcyon. She's like trying to distract the passengers, get them not to be so freaked out by telling stories. And the story they tell is a story of a history that this character has on the Halcyon, but like 80 years prior. And it's a story about her boyfriend took her on this cruise ship, this galactic cruiser for a romantic vision of a star going supernova, or not, I shouldn't say vision, a romantic viewing. Basically, the ship is going near enough to a star that's going supernova, but I guess not so near that it's going to kill them, just to view it like a sunset. It's like romantic, I guess. And like I said, this book's 20 pages long. The first 5 pages and the last 5 pages are basically what I described originally, which is the now story, and the middle 10 pages are this previous story from 80 years ago. So, and actually the previous story from 80 years ago was much more interesting to me, because that actually, you got Bosk on the cover there, involved Bosk, Zuckuss, and Forlam, which I also thought was ironic, because the book I reviewed last week was Bounty Hunters, where I was looking for some bounty hunter action, and as I complained in that episode, there ain't much bounty hunter action in that issue at all. There's lots of bounty hunter action in this issue, which I thought was kind of funny after my review last week. But it was pretty good. Like I said, the story in the middle is the interesting part, because it ends up her boyfriend that pays all this money to take her on this cruise to go see the supernova. He's actually wanted by the Hutts, and all the bounty hunters have come there to either kill him and bring him back dead, or capture him and bring him back alive. And ultimately, in that story, they accomplish the mission. And then what brings us back to the now is the lady telling the story. She's never loved since he's been gone. She's never seen, because the bounty hunters actually accomplished getting him and taking him, and she's never seen him since. And it's her lifelong love, and she just kind of reminisces on that. But anyway, like I said, with how interesting the middle story is, and the current story that's happening wasn't bad. It just it was kind of hokey almost, because he only left 2 or 3 henchmen behind, and the crew took him out so easily and so quickly. So I was thinking, if there was 4 of them there, why didn't they just do it with 4 of them there? I don't know, but so the actual now story kind of was a little hokey to me, but the flashback story in the middle was pretty good. So I give this a definite get it for Star Wars fans. And I'm kind of on the fence. If you aren't really a Star Wars fan, I'm not sure whether you'd like it or not. But I think it's a get it for Star Wars fan. I'm going to continue to read this. And like I said, I got the feeling that maybe every issue will be more about flashbacks than it will be current, but all centered around this Star Cruiser, the Halcyon, or the Halcyon Legacy, whichever one. And as soon as I find the answer to that question, I'll let everybody know as well. But this is pretty fun. I don't think this really has anything to do with what's up, Mike.
That's issue 5 of 5.
Oh, this is issue 5 of 5?
Yeah.
Okay. Looks like I'll read 1 through 4.
There you go.
Just to get that tidbit of information.
Unless there's a new number 1 coming.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
It's odd. They usually do 6 issues in in an arc, but yeah.
Well, what's even more odd is it doesn't show me anything on this book. I've literally got it here in front of me. There's nothing to give me the impression that this would be a limited series.
Well, yeah. When it was solicited initially, it was.
Well, no, I'm saying I'm sure there's a way, but it just seems odd that I wouldn't know that just by having the book.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how did it end? A lot of times if it's the end, it'll say finish or the end, or But
it ended with, it does say the end at the end. But I didn't know that meant the end of the book. I thought it meant the end of the story.
You still assume there's going to be an issue 6.
But that's how it ends. They get the plans to the rebellion. That's how it ends. So anyway,
well, I'm interested for 1 through 4 then, because I got these as well. I haven't read them.
Yeah. Yeah. I've got them all. So I'll do prequels. That'll be my next review for this. So. All right, but like I said, I liked it though, so it makes me sad that it's ending now. But I don't think it has anything to do with current Star Wars comic, continuity or anything. So, which makes more sense since it's a limited series, anyway. So. All right, so now we wanted to do the second thing that we rolled on the segment wheel last week, correct?
Yep.
Which was, what did we spin, Mike?
Last week was the Whatnot review for the upcoming Whatnot show.
Preview, Whatnot preview. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, that's a shorter way of saying
it. All right, so I dug this out. First of all, I'll start with this.
I thought
I can't really. It's better like this.
Yeah, I thought you were going to play another video where I misspoke.
No, I didn't make a Whatnot preview video. I actually did think I need to, though. A short and sweet one, whatever. But anyway, this is the Whatnot logo. You can kind of see it. if anybody is unfamiliar with Whatnot yet, obviously we've been talking about it a lot, but it's a live streaming auction show, and we do 2 at this point. Who knows if that's going to change again? But currently, what I'm doing is Fridays I do a comic Whatnot show, and then Saturdays I do a collectible Whatnot show. And this past week and this next week are literally going to be the same because I felt like I fell short a little bit, even though they were good shows this past weekend. Friday was Spider-Man themed, and Saturday was Star Wars themed, and they were pretty good shows. We had a pretty good turnout, a lot of good chat, and some sales. But I feel like it could have been better, and I still have a lot of both of those to sell. So I'm doing that again.
They're 2 huge entities. You know, there's so much material for both of them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So my preview for this coming Friday show, which again is 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Our username is Xcellar_comics, and the name of the show is Comics and Collectibles in the Crawl Space, Star Wars. So you can look it up that way. But this is a little preview for what I got Friday. I'm going to be selling these. I'm going to wait till I have a pretty good room going and some activity before I put these up, because these aren't cheap. And most of the time I like to get some activity with some less expensive books. But that's just going to probably be the highlight of the night, which that is the first appearance of Carnage series, set, right? Which, that was another thing. Tyler was with this whole, something else was the first appearance, kind of talk we were talking about.
Yeah.
I guess it's 258. There's
Cletus Cassidy appears earlier.
Well, he was talking about literally the symbiote red spludges. He's calling that the first appearance. I think it's 258. Wait, not 258. 358, right?
Yeah, 258 is way before.
Yeah, 258. I didn't mean 258. It's 358. But you actually can see some, symbiote goo splotches. So that's what he's calling the first appearance of Carnage, So anyway, I thought that was funny. Apparently you guys don't. Cool. Got it. Anyway, moving on.
If I was a Carnage collector, I'd know more.
You might care, yeah. Which I'm the same way. I really don't. I just want to kind of put me in the middle here, because here's my other preview. Because as you can see, I've got no background today, and it's because my kitchen is a mess because of the Star Wars show. I'm just going to move my camera here. This is my Star Wars show preview. These probably won't be, I'll set it up a different way. But we got action figures, some publications, some kids' toys, got loose action figures. Look, I got a Darth Maul head soap dispenser. Kind of got all kinds of fun stuff. Some puzzles. So this is my Star Wars Whatnot preview. There you go. So that's my Whatnot preview. Oh, let me change this. Now that I'm done, I will change this. There you go. Whatnot preview.
There you go.
There's our graphic. But yeah, I got a lot of stuff still, so it's going to be a good. I'm optimistic that both of these shows will be good too, and I'm excited. And honestly, the biggest reason I didn't, because Tyler wanted me to show those Carnage Amazing Spider-Man issues, but with how expensive they are, I didn't feel comfortable with giving them a grade. So, Mike, I need you to grade those for me this week. Tell me what you think they are.
I'll have a look.
All right, that's it for the first Whatnot preview. Success.
Yep. Are you going to add more to the Star Wars lot?
What do you mean?
I didn't know if you had more Star Wars items coming in this week or that are going into that.
Yeah, everything is a mess. I didn't show you everything I have. There's like stuff down here on the floor beside me. And yeah, the answer to that question is honestly, I don't exactly know, but I actually do think so because again, as I was going through everything and listening, I was like, where's this? Where's this? Where's this? So I think I have out in my shed another bin of stuff that we didn't even show anything on the show. And we probably it was a good show with Tyler's help. We were able to move it along pretty good. And I probably did show 80% of what I have in here on that show. But obviously a lot of it didn't sell, so I can re-show a lot of that and then show the other 20%, and hopefully I find another bin of brand new stuff that didn't show at all. So, but anyway, that's it.
Did you need any books?
Huh?
Did you need any Star Wars comics for in there?
Yeah, if you're willing to, because I don't want to sell any of mine.
Yeah, I have doubles of some of the action figure variants.
Okay.
So I'll pull those.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I've got a couple of those I had for the very variant show before, so I didn't even think about running comic books at all. But I've got a lot of the, Star Wars magazines and stuff like that. So that's what I was the old Star Wars insiders that have just been sitting in my shed for a long time. An old Star Wars video game, how to, those what do you call them? The video game official handbooks too. Those kind of things.
Right.
So. But yeah, anything Star Wars you want to contribute, I'll definitely show it. And hey, you can come over and help me run the show too. I need it. That's for sure. Or I need to do that thing too, where I haven't even tried to do it yet, where I can make you a remote host for the show.
Oh, okay.
Because you guys were hooking me up during the Spidey show too, because you were commenting about covers and stuff, and I wasn't saying any of that. I was worried about entering at an efficient speed while I was having it up, and you guys were hooking me up with some comments, so I really appreciated that. So
that's what I figure. You're kind of focused on one thing. It's hard to pull trivia and stuff like that. Not just trivia, but just information. Extra information. It's hard to pull it.
When I've fully admitted many times too that I'm the one lacking all of that thought and remembering those things anyway of our group anyway. So it's great to have you guys around. So. All right. So Patrick's on deck next.
Okay.
When are we
ready?
Spinning the wheel?
Huh?
When do we spin the wheel? After Patrick.
Right before the recap.
Right, you have the list.
Do you need me to make you an isolated bit? No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna beat that joke to death forever. Anyway. All right, you ready, Pat?
I am ready.
Okay.
So,
all right. Oh man, hold on. Sorry.
It's all right. We're entering our last week for the Long Box Heroes campaign. And we got some new figures. We got Tick in Disguise and Barry, the anti-hero sort of that steals other heroes' identities in the comic and on the animated show. Just real quick, they're only allowed to do comic based, but here Barry was on the show and the comic, so that's why he's appearing here. And the other new thing was,
hold on, I was silenced real quick there for a second. Sorry. So this Barry guy, he's on the show?
Yes, he was on the cartoon. The cartoon, Kevin, not the shows.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, the cartoon, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
This Rocketeer Newsreel 5-pack, which is in black and white.
Cool.
And there, there's an exclusive enemy pilot figure, which is basically a new head with the airboy body. That's what's happening with a lot of this line is they try to get the most out of the sculpts, to save on costs and pump up more revenue for the figures. So that's $110. Is that right? That seems cheap. Yeah, so you're getting a little bit of discount there.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. That looks cool too. Yeah.
But again,
are they black and whitish?
Yes, they're black and white, just like they're shown there. Yep.
Okay. Wow, that's cool.
Sort of, playing off the old newsreel footage, which is the era that the Rocketeer's coming out of.
Right. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
So we have there's all the figures now. They're up to 18 figures in total with all the different variants and things like that. And like I said, just a little over a week left in the campaign, and here are the latest totals. Cassie Hack and Mr. Monster still have not made it yet. They're close. Not much, not a whole lot of movement since last week, but they're inching ever closer, and kind of shows the additions of Barry and the Tick in Disguise and the Rocketeer 3-pack, which is limited to I think 500. So yeah, that's where we're at. Probably the last update next week, and then we'll see what happens with them.
Seems like they'll make it. Right?
Yeah, I would assume so.
Yeah.
Especially because we talk about there's usually a big final push right at the end. People last minuting, so they're so close.
And we've been selling it like crazy on this show, so millions of people want to get it from our show.
Yeah, I hope so. People probably like either that or they're sick of hearing me talk about the Long Box Heroes. But I'm just, I think they're pretty cool. A lot of the lesser known comics don't always get merchandise, so that's a good reason to support them if you want a figure of your favorite comic character.
Yeah, definitely.
Then the big boys with a crossover. Here we're crossing over Power Rangers with Street Fighter, and I think these are pretty cool. Actually, I think
they are. I definitely think they're cool too. But I don't get the crossover though. I mean, they look cool, but I actually saw this somewhere. I can't remember where, but I was wondering how that crossover happened.
Yeah, it's just another one of their. Yeah, they call them the collaborative campaign, or effort. And they have. I don't know if this is it. They only announced 2, and maybe that's it. This is actually, I think this. If you take Transformers out of the equation, I think this is the first action figures they've done, Hasbro, of the collaborative effort. So I mean, they could, you often worry about it. Somehow are they going to do like a Marvel Star Wars crossover? Which
right.
I myself am against, but I think this works.
It definitely looks cool.
With lightsaber claws, that's cool.
Yeah.
Careful what you ask for, Mike. Careful what you wish for. He's already got the hot claws, remember?
Yeah, that's right.
Or does he? I don't know if he still does or not.
I don't think he still does.
They actually, the latest Wolverine figure, the Marvel Legends figure, does have those heat claws or whatever the heck they are.
Do you have the second of? You said there was 2 of these.
Yes.
Okay.
Chun-Li is the other one.
Oh yeah, this is the one I saw. When I saw this one, I was like, I don't know how I feel about these action, accessory things.
Yeah.
That's.
Some people really like. That's a Japanese thing. They really do a lot of that, and you've been seeing it more and more in the American market because people want those what they call effects pieces. So.
Okay. Yeah, as I was seeing the figure without those on, I was thinking it looks better without, because they aren't exactly convincing, especially the one when they're doing the, Hami High balls or whatever out straight forward. They've got it on that little rod base, you know?
Yes.
I was like, that's kind of, I don't know. But anyway.
Yeah. And I didn't mention their names. Crimson Hawk Ryu, and these are $35. And Blazing Phoenix Chun-Li. I'm assuming if you're a big Power Ranger fan, you probably know who Crimson Hawk and Blazing Phoenix are. But
right.
I just think, the kind of the mashup looks cool.
Yeah, I don't even know what the latest Power Rangers is. Do you?
No, I do not.
We need that on the segment wheel. What's up with Power Rangers?
You better find an expert because I'm
Yeah,
not.
who's talking that?
Yeah. I always tell the story that my older brother, when I was a kid, when Power Rangers was first new, like the first season,
Right.
he was like, "Oh man, check this out! This looks so cool. We got to check this out." From the beginning, I was like, "Are you sure?" Because it's kind of hokey. It seemed like it was playing off. Back in the day when that first came out was when I think Kung Fu. Saturday Kung Fu movies were still really popular. So I kind of maybe it was kind of like that, which it kind of is. But it's just they're obviously goofy. That's your stick. So it's. But I did enjoy a couple of them over the years because my boys, as they were growing,
Yeah, I'm sure.
they got into a couple seasons of them, but only a couple specific.
Right.
But those new helmets look cool though. Whatever it is.
Yeah. And then I wanted to do a little bit of Super 7 because Mike specifically, maybe even on his personal Facebook page, he mentioned being so tempted by these Beastie Boy reaction figures.
Yeah.
So these are typical reaction. They're $20 retail, but you might find them cheaper if they hit Target. And I think these are probably good. Have a good shot to show up at like Targets. So they'll probably
Who's going to be the hard one to get, Mike?
No, I think they'll all be. I can't imagine them doing a limited
Chase?
run on one of them.
Oh.
Yeah, they should all three be equally.
Well, yeah, I know. I just figured, who do you think's going to be like
bestseller?
The bestseller that's going to be gone first, that kind of thing, So.
Yeah, I think, and anybody that's going to buy them, they're probably going to get all three.
Probably.
That's true. Yeah. That's true.
Anybody just getting one.
Is that you? Is that you, Mike?
I want to get all three. I have it. It's like you said, $20 or $60.
Okay, so here to circle around a little bit, I noticed in this month's DCBS or the latest previews, the Godzilla figures are finally listed in previews, and with the DCBS discount, they're around 14 something, I think.
Okay.
So you can if you look for discounts, you can usually find a decent deal.
Well, DCBS probably wouldn't carry these though, right?
I wouldn't be too surprised if they did.
So I never look at the action figures in that catalog, so maybe I should.
Yeah, I think they'll probably be in there. I'm trying to think of another, like non-comic specific line. Well, I mean Godzilla, but he sort of has like a a nerd factor. But I'm trying to think of, because they've done other musicians in the reaction line. And I'm trying to think if they showed up. I think like Ozzy Osbourne has shown up in previews, so I think they'll be in there. But
didn't they do the classic monsters too?
I don't think they. Yes, I think there were. Yes, definitely. You're right.
Like the Phantom of the Opera too.
Yeah, they've Universal has licensed out to so many companies. It's kind of hard to keep track, but yeah, there definitely were reactions because I know I picked up a Frankenstein at Ollie's years back. So
yeah.
Sticking with reaction, we're getting off the sort of the geek tangent, but I had to put them up there. The Parks and Rec figures are also out for pre-order.
Hey, well, even if the subject or the content isn't exactly geek, if it's an action figure, it's geek.
Yeah.
I need the Ron Swanson and their Burt Macklin. Jeez.
And this is funny, obviously just mentioning The Office today, too.
Right.
Do they have an office of these?
Not yet.
Yeah, that's kind of surprising they would do Parks and Rec before The Office, because that's kind of how it went in real life, too.
Yeah, it's probably a licensing thing because they've done other Office figures, not very good ones, in my opinion.
Oh, okay.
So maybe the license was tied up with other companies.
This whole set would be nice to put together, too. Jeez.
Yeah.
And obviously, there's more characters to be done here.
Yeah.
But the card art I think is great because it harkens to the opening of the show, and card art's a big part of these reaction figures. Even going back to the Beastie Boys, man, those are cool. That's a cool card art.
Yeah. Fantastic. I don't know why they wouldn't have them in the exact same outfit there in the picture though. That seems on the Parks and Rec ones.
Oh yeah, well,
look, they're in different outfits.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess because the Beastie Boys is very specific, to that sabotage.
Yeah, we got how
video.
many seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously there could be, if these sell well, variants upon variants. These characters could be done.
Right.
In addition to the characters they haven't even gotten to yet. I mean, right out of the bat, they're going with Burt Macklin version of Andy Dwyer. So
Yeah,
there's a little group shot of.
look at him.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay. And then, so moving on to getting off reaction, Target's having their fall geek out, which every Friday they release some new figures. And this week was McFarlane. And they're doing a box set of this Batman 30th anniversary, Batman the Animated Series. This figure has been released before, but now he's coming in a light up diorama. And he is $50. I don't know. This Batman sat around forever. I mean, I saw him on clearance. It's kind of weird too. Again, I'm probably digging a little too deep here, but he's not really the original Batman the Animated Series, and he's not really the New Adventures Batman. He's kind of a mashup of the two.
Yeah, we talked about that before, I think, in the group.
Yeah, probably. There's another shot of him, the diorama. There was also a version of this, much like the McFarlane. If you remember the McFarlane with a huge cape.
Yes.
There was, just like that, they had a version that came with a card signed by Todd McFarlane for that one. And in this case, they had a Bruce Timm autographed card, but they were, I don't know. By the time I saw this news article hit, they had long since sold out. This is $50. I think the one with the Bruce Timm autograph was $75, maybe.
Jeez.
In addition to this, they're doing a Batman 66 lunchbox. And I forgot to mention that these are all tagged as New York Comic Con exclusives. It must be like a shared between the Comic Con and Target that they can do some online sales. But so this has
exclusive. The term exclusive isn't.
I don't think that word means what they think it means.
Yeah, exclusive really doesn't mean that much these days anymore, because even if they're exclusive, it seems like they're exclusive for a certain period of time, and then you'll find them elsewhere. You can kind of see in the sidebar there, by this little picture of the back, it comes with 4 figures: Joker, Robin, Batman, and the Penguin. And these have all been released before. Also, these are McFarlane figures that have been released on card. But they come in this metal lunchbox sort of deal, and they come with reproductions of. I think these are the original Topps trading cards.
Huh. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's $60. That's not bad for 4 figures, considering what figures go for these days.
Yeah, that 50 for that animated. Yeah, that's expensive. That's tough.
Yeah, because the figure itself was only $20. I don't think what you're getting in addition is worth it.
Yeah.
And they had one more Batman 66 item, which was Alfred as Batman. If you remember the episode where Alfred had to disguise himself as Batman. It's kind of hard to see there. I wish there would have been a better close-up shot, but easy variant for McFarlane to do. Just sculpt the new head and you're ready to go.
Yeah.
But this is like the baseline figures like I talked about that previously were available in the lunchbox. They came carded like this Alfred figure. So if you're collecting those, I think these are 5 or 7-inch figures.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken. And then because I teased it, I have to go.
Mike, are these you? Are you all over these, or are they too expensive? If they weren't so expensive, would you be all over them?
Yeah, I'm pricing everything as, like the lunchbox. That's 3 Parks and Rec figures, or the Beastie Boys set.
Right.
Yeah, they're a bit pricey for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just where to display them or store them, at this point.
Yeah.
It's tough. That's why I have to revert. I collect comics. I like looking at all these, and I like wanting these, but I collect comics.
Yeah. Got to be selective.
Yep. Yeah.
But I do like the 2-year toy protection plan you can get.
That's a big thing they just started recently doing, and it's like, are you kidding me? It's like, what are they gonna do? What are they? Because
Yeah, so my kid opened it and played with it. Is Allstate gonna
Yeah.
give me turn it into my insurance company, Allstate?
And then lastly, like I teased at the beginning of the show, it's never too late to start thinking about, never too early to start thinking about Christmas. And I actually had this ready to go a couple of shows ago, but I held it back. But now I have a couple different things to talk about, and that is the Advent calendars are hitting, and there is a Marvel Christmas Advent calendar this year. And these are fairly well done. I mean, last year we got 2 years ago I got the Marvel one, which was, I forget what those pops are called. They're not like mini pops, but they're kind of, I don't know, they're not the greatest, but these are actually like mini versions of the pops. And some of these I think have been released before. And you're getting 24 different little pops in these Funko calendars. And oftentimes you can actually find these at a really good deal if you watch. So
Where are they at?
They should be everywhere.
Okay. Because I don't think I've seen these before.
Target had them. GameStop had them. I know I got mine at Target previously. Walmart, I don't really remember ever seeing them there, but I can't go by. Every Walmart seems to kind of do their own thing in a way.
Well, I know some people that would love to have these. So if you, when you spot them out and about, let me know.
Oh yeah, we'll do.
Okay.
And last year I got the Office set for Chelsea, which was cool. Actually, I picked one of those up on clearance for myself, and I had never opened it. I just have it, I think.
And it was a mini Pops Office Advent calendar.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh man, I can't believe I didn't see that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool because a lot of these Advent calendars, you kind of get some junk, like little trinkets along the way.
Yeah, that's why
even the Lego ones, it's not always a minifigure every day. Sometimes it's a little accessory or something, but this is a figure every day,
Yeah, that's cool. I like it a lot.
Pretty neat.
Yeah.
And the other one is this Fisher Price Imaginext DC Super Friends Advent calendar. And here you are getting some accessories. You're not getting 24 different figures, but you are 2, 4, 6, 8 of them. In some Christmas themed, which my favorite is the Swamp Thing with the Christmas lights.
Yeah.
I don't think they had to do much with Mr. Freeze or
Captain Cold.
Yeah. Captain Cold, sorry, yeah.
That's exactly what he looks like. Marcus still has him.
And
he celebrates Christmas year round.
Right. And obviously these have all been released probably in one form or another, and they're all just repaints. But kind of cool. I always kind of like these Imaginext figures, but they're kind of spotty in distribution, and man, there's a lot of them. A lot of Batmans and Supermans and so forth. So I kind of gave up on them, but pretty neat.
Yeah, they are pretty neat. Yeah.
And that's it. That's it for the Horizon this week.
All right, that's some good stuff. And yeah, now I got Christmas fever. All right. I'm serious though. When you see those, let me know. Yeah. And I'm sure this time since you've put it on my radar, I'll probably see them myself. But just save me in case I do miss them whenever they are out.
I would not be surprised if they're up for order online places, but you're probably not going to get the deal yet. If you watch, you'll probably get a good deal closer to Christmas.
Yeah, it looks like the Marvel one is on Amazon, but it's not. October 30th is when it's available. So yeah, they're going to start popping up here.
Okay,
cool. They're going to start Funko popping up here.
Nice.
I'll be here all day.
We'll probably at least 15 more minutes.
Yeah. All right, Mike, guess what time it is?
Oh, jeez. I don't know. You have to
spin the segment wheel.
Oh, there we go. That's right. I had it ready earlier when it wasn't time. And I'm just doing it the low rent way. I'm just gonna hold it
Gotcha.
up.
Yeah.
So we've got these are our options. We have Funko Pop Fun, Video Game Barrage, and the Unique Topic. Those are the last 3 available.
What about the manga? You didn't put manga on there. Mayhem and manga.
I didn't add anything since we initially did it. The manga mayhem.
Yeah, I know, but that was that was on the list. That was the one we kept talking about with Fakor, remember?
Oh yeah.
Hey, we've got to vote for what someone wants the segment wheel to be.
Okay.
Lexi wants it to be Funko.
Funko.
Unique topic of the week. Sorry, Lexi, you gotta wait at least another week.
So what's our topic going to be? Funko?
No. But we will. It looks like we'll finally be getting around to what we talked about. I can't remember, how long ago it was.
Months and months.
Yeah. The unique topic of the week next week will be the variants, our opinions on variants.
Yeah.
Which incidentally too. Oh man, let me make my screen big real quick. Oh, that's so cool. I want that. Nice. How much was it?
I think it was like $25.
That's a good deal too. Yeah, that's not bad at all.
I think they're normally like 50. That's general. I think that's how they start out. But like I said, at Christmas time, you can usually find a good deal, good sale on them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm definitely getting next year's around the 26th. I'll buy for next year.
Yeah, that's if you can play the waiting game and sometimes do that and get them on clearance. That's the way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do that. That's not my game, unfortunately. So anyway, yeah. So the unique topic of the week is what you spun on the segment wheel. So we'll do that next week, and that unique topic will be about variants, which we've had that on the website since the launch of the website almost. that's going to be the next unique topic. So there you go. We already got that set. So get your opinions ready.
We're going to talk about variants and gimmicks. Like the gimmick
Variants
cover.
was next, but gimmicks we had on deck. I mean, we can do gimmicks. I don't mind which either one. I was actually just
going to combine them both.
Okay, yeah, we can do that. Okay. I was actually going to mention that again, as I'm revisiting all of our old podcasts. There's one show that Johnny and I were alone. It was just me and Johnny, and we talked about we went through the gambit of the pluses and minuses of variants. So I'm just going to re-listen to that show to get all my opinions, and and so it actually it'll add to the fun and flavor a little bit for me, especially to have the gimmicky covers be a part of it. So that's good with me. Is that good with you, Pat?
Yep.
And then seriously, add the madness of May. Here, I'll tell you what you're missing. You're missing more than one.
I know. Well, I mean, I know you had thrown out other ideas after the initial list.
But the Mayhem Omega has been on StreamYard since the beginning. That's not a new idea.
I don't
Mayhem
know.
of Omega. See, look, I've even got a banner for it.
I believe that.
But add that one to the wheel, though. Then that'll mean 2 of the last 3 will be something that our daughters will be involved in. So that'll be fun.
Okay.
And that video game barrage, I'm going to have to get my boys involved in that one.
Yeah.
Because for me, I'll just talk about Overwatch. I have no idea what's coming out new. I don't know. But maybe your boy will participate in that, unless he's only still kind of attached to Fortnite.
Nope. Call of Duty.
He's in Call of Duty mode right now. The new one, at least.
No, I don't know which one it was. It was one of the free ones. That's
okay.
Play.
It's funny. My kids never wanted to get the newest Call of Duty. They always wanted to play old ones when you could do zombies. That's all they want to do, zombies. But anyway. All right, so that's just a request on my part. If you want to add that for next week's spin.
The mayhem of manga.
Mayhem of manga.
Manga.
Huh? Manga. Yeah.
Manga.
Manga. Yeah.
We were saying it first.
All right, so that'll do it. We blew through today's show. It's only 2:20 right now. Nice. So let's add some more time though with a recap.
Yeah. Oh, I'm first again. I'm up top. Switch. Okay, Alex Ross is tough to beat.
Nice.
Oh, I was waiting for the intro.
Oh, see,
I
Pat,
wasn't.
yeah,
Obviously, I wasn't.
you should be in charge of this show. Yeah. So y'all ready for recap?
Very ready.
All right, here we go. All right, Mike, go.
Alex Ross is tough to beat. I say it all the time.
Pat?
I've written down here, kids, your parents know stuff. Somebody said that.
Yeah, I did. When we were talking about telling our kids to watch certain shows or movies because they're good.
Oh, yeah. She-Hulk just keeps getting better.
That leads into one of mine. I don't know what's happening on She-Hulk.
Quarterfinals are fun and nerve-wracking, so get your votes in.
Oh, that's good. And tune in every week, at least to the beginning of the show, for the next scavenger hunt clue.
And when you're not doing that, watch Game of Thrones.
Nice.
Good.
You stole my next one. That's where I was going next.
Whatnot, why not tune in to Kevin's shows, because it's only better with more participation, just like this show. We wish people would come on here and comment more, but Whatnot shows it's so much better when there's back and forth, and Kevin's a good host, and it really gets things flowing even better when there's more, interaction between the host and the guests and the bidders and buyers. So
nice.
Why not?
Thank you. And nice. We've actually got an addition. Someone's chiming in on the recap here. You ready? I agree wholeheartedly.
I agree.
Mike is filling in for Johnny nicely today. He's got another one.
Yeah.
What does Mike think about the prequel Game of Thrones? Did he say anything about that?
Yeah, he thumbed up it.
Okay.
He thumbed up it. Yep.
Technical term, folks.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've all got our missions for next week.
Yeah, like I'm going to catch up on Game of Thrones in a week. Let me call off work.
You really should. You won't regret it. I mean, obviously you aren't going to do it in a week, but you won't regret it. Okay, Mike, you're up again.
Am I? I like seeing Mike show up in the comments. That's awesome.
For sure.
I'm keeping it up the next time he chimes in. I'm keeping it up. Pat, you got another one?
No, I'm out.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just going to say bounty hunters are apparently better than in non-bounty hunter books than they are in bounty hunter books.
Yeah.
Here's some advice from Mike.
Yeah, right. Good advice. Good advice. All right, so on that note, we'll stop it. How's that sound? I will give us some reminders here. First thing, and I say this every week, but it just hasn't happened much yet, and I can't wait. As we talk about the viewer involvement, really makes everything better, of course. I really want this one at some point too, because I have a lot of fun when I make the podcast by putting up a poll and a trivia question with the podcast on the Spotify app. If you could answer those, it'd be a lot of fun. Follow us on Facebook. Follow Xcellar Comics on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Subscribe to Xcellar Comics on YouTube, Anchor by Spotify, and follow Xcellar_comics on Whatnot and TikTok. And then, of course, check out what we have to offer on eBay, also at Xcellar_comics. And check out XcellarComics.com. I've been saying this for a long time, and still it's going to happen at some point. We're going to have some stuff to sell on there, but I update it, fairly regularly. That's kind of the last thing I do on my docket, so I don't get to it every week. But it's been updated this past week, and I have a lot of fun doing that. And it's a pretty interesting addition to the show, in my opinion. And it's the only place you can see. Oh no, you can see Mike's Be on the Lookout posts on Facebook and through the website as well. And then lastly, listen to an edited podcast of this live stream on Spotify that will be posted no later than Tuesday, but I usually get to it no later than Monday. Then watch all of our shows on the Whatnot app at Xcellar_comics, like I said before. Friday is going to be a Star Wars or Spider-Man themed show. Starts 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then Saturday is the Star Wars themed show. That's going to start at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then, of course, watch the next live stream next week. And most Sundays, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And not next week, but the week after, that'll be our year anniversary. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited. I'm going to start thinking about that regularly to get. You already came up with a good idea. Man, I'll spend as much time as I need to have a real fun, visiting the last year recap, not only audio-wise and video. Oh, that's going to be a blast for me. That's probably going to take all my time, actually. Can you guys do the rest? Do everything else. I'll work on a real sweet, fun recap. And maybe I'll piece it out so we can do it 2 or 3 times during the show. But I'm going to have a lot of fun with that. So, you guys got anything else?
Nope.
I added.
Happy birthday, Jack Kirby. Today's Jack Kirby's birthday.
Oh, yeah. Happy birthday.
Yeah. What is he, 103, 102?
You looking it up?
I was going to real quickly.
Yeah, I was waiting.
Oh. I added Mayhem of Manga.
Nice.
And I'm trying to think of ways to kind of lure Mike onto the show. And I have one that we could put on there called Why is Lois and Clark the best Superman TV show? And he can come on and argue why that's the...
I don't understand that reference, but I'd love to see it.
He loved that show. I love that show. From the 90s.
Yeah.
That was one of his favorite shows.
Gotcha. Awesome. Okay. Well, I'm just happy he's participating in the comments and doing a little Johnny recap. He'd be a perfect fit to do the Johnny recap when Johnny ain't here. I'd love that. Anything he wants to do. It'd be a lot of fun. That's for sure. He's very welcome. All right. So then is that it?
Yeah, I gotta do.
Are you both still looking up Jack Kirby's age if he was alive?
Yes.
105.
He'd be 105.
Yeah.
Lost too soon. He could have, imagine what we'd have gotten from him up till now. But anyway, so thanks for everyone tuning in. It seems like our viewership grew a bit today. A few of the people in the chat on the Whatnot show said that was going to happen. What? It's not what?
It's not the best a Superman TV show.
Oh, that's his chime in on your Lois and Clark. Okay.
Oh, yeah? Well, come on here and tell me why it's not. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry. Mike interrupted you.
Okay, I'll take those interruptions all day long. So anyway, so like I said, thank you for everybody who checked us out. I have a feel it's a few people that told me they would during the Whatnot shows. So that's great. Spread the word, help us out in all the ways, and we'll definitely pass it right along. I love giving stuff away. So until next time, don't forget that appreciating great art is awesome and reading a great story is fun. So why not pick up a comic book and do both? Xcellar out.